Hi, my name is David Harold and I'm on the board of Fruit and Vegetable Council. So on my small quarter-acre property here I have 107 different fruiting trees and plants. So we're going to go through today and take a look at them. We're going to start with the mangoes, and I'm going to start with the mangoes in the front yard, and then we're going to move on to the mangoes in the backyard. Probably one of the prettiest mangoes I have, and the reason I put it in the front is a Fairchild mango. You can see this has deep, dark green leaves. They look good. It is disease tolerant, if not resistant, and it produces a beautiful yellow fruit. So instead of producing very big fruits, the fruits are about 12 to 14 ounces, I believe. But instead of producing only a few big fruits, this produces many, many little yellow fruits that have a very strong Indonesian flavor. The Excalibur mango, this was discovered by Richard Wilson of Excalibur Nursery. It's a wonderful mango, Indian descent, I'm not 100% sure, but it is a great tasting mango, and I've been told it tastes like candy. It's relatively disease resistant, and as you can see, it's a very prolific tree. This is one of the two mangoes that I have that are actually best when eaten green. So this is a Ping Sang Mom mango that you can see has a lot of mangoes on it. This is the second or third year it's fruited for me. It's done a great job, and when you eat it green, it's an Asian mango, disease resistant. And you can see the distinct Asian shape on it. Almost looks like a little cashew. There has a very distinct shape to them. And this one tastes like an apple when you eat it green. It is crunchy, but it's still mildly sweet. And it's also can be eaten when it's ripe, which tastes like a normal mango. This is my other green mango, which is a Pram Kea Mai, and I hope I'm saying that right. I'm from New York and I'm Irish, so probably not. But it's another mango that it tastes like a mildly sweet apple. It is Asian, and it has mild disease tolerance. I could get some, looks like sunburn on these leaves already, but it is a nice little tree, and again, it produces a good, sweet tasting mango. This is the last of my mangoes I have in the front yard. This is one of the few that I know of that's a pure Indian mango. Jenagir, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm not 100% sure on that. It is a dwarf tree, as you can see. It is very small. It's just probably about 6 or 7 feet. You can see that there are mangoes on it. It is a very nice, sweet, spicy type of mango. And the interesting thing about this is it stays green. It never does turn yellow. So when it's ripe, it stays totally green, and it's almost a very pale white yellow inside. Okay, now moving toward the backyard, which is where 33 of my 38 mangoes are. This is a Choco, which is the bad reputation of being the miracle mango. They call it a miracle mango because it's a miracle if it produces any fruits. It tend to be a shy bearer, but I'm one who's up for a challenge, and I was able to dose it through some Bloom Special fertilizers, and you can see that this mango would rival the best producing mango. On this tree, I probably have over 200 mangoes right now. Of the 5 years that I've had this mango, I've had a winter crop, a small winter crop of 8 to a dozen mangoes. But when you have 8 to a dozen mangoes in December, buddy, you're a hero, because those are the only mangoes grown in Florida that time of year that I'm aware of. So it's an Asian mango. It has disease tolerant, right? It has a great flavor to it. It has that strong Indo-Asian Chinese type of flavor to it, and it turns yellow when it's ripe. This is another one of the wonderful ZIL creations from ZIL High Performance Plants. It's a Pina Colada mango. This is the second year it's producing fruit for me. It's not so disease resistant. I think you can look at the leaves and they're a little bit spotted with anthracnose. When you have 38 mangoes, if you had to spray copper for every spot you saw, your whole yard would look like a friggin' Smurf. It would be blue. So I don't spray at all. I kind of try to just go with the natural approach. But it does produce a wonderful small little mango that does turn yellow, and it does have a very strong pineapple, mild coconut type of taste, and thus the name Pina Colada. It's Asian mango, and it's a very good mango. I would recommend this mango for your backyard. Right, this is one of the also new ZIL creations. It's called Orange Sherbet, and I actually thought it was a lemon meringue, but it turned out it was an orange sherbet. This is the first year it's really done well as far as bearing goes. I think the problem was I was too dense, and you could look as I cut out the center of it. Some of it has grown back, but I have an excellent crop, and this is another Asian mango, and it does have a very strong reminiscent orange taste to it. It's a typical mango. It does turn yellow when it is ripe, and it is disease resistant. This is another Asian mango. Almost all the Asian mangoes I have are Asian except for that one in the front. You can tell the Asian mangoes by that distinct kind of S and that hook shape on it. This is the Okrong mango, and this is the one that is famous for being very sweet and the one that is part of the meal of the mango and sticky rice in Thailand. This is, I have two mangoes here. They're very close, so I'm going to talk about them both one after the other. This is a Glen mango, and this is the great mango to have when you're having more than 10. It is an old-fashioned mango. It has a traditional mango taste with a little bit of a peach overtone, so it's a good stable mango. It has good disease tolerance, disease resistant, and it turns yellow-reddish when I'm getting poked here. It turns yellow-reddish when it's ripe. This is a newer mango I have, so it's one of the Zill creations. It's called the one next to it is called Peach Cobbler. So this is a nice mango that does honestly have a reminiscent peach and cinnamon type flavor on it. It does turn yellow too. I do have a little bit of disease problem with this one, but I do believe it's only because of the way I'm raising it. Hindsight being 2020, I would not have put all these mangoes that grow big all close together, because you could see it is a beautiful, bright, sunshiny day, but it's almost 4 p.m. over here in the shade because I got them too close together. But it's a great mango. This is one of the few mangoes. I love the taste of it, and it's old school mango. It's a Keitt Mango, but it is one of the few that I do have a disease anthracnose problem with. It's a great tree. It wants to be a big tree, so I probably don't have it in an ideal spot. It's hard to see because it's so dense, but it is loaded with mangoes. But the problem is that when you get anthracnose on it, it's almost like a cancer on the mango, that if once you get that spot, you got to harvest that mango immediately. Otherwise, the whole mango will be corrupted. But it does have a great old-time Florida mango flavor, so I'm going to keep him and see if I can't just somehow fight that anthracnose. All right, this is one of the another one of the marvelous creations from Zill High Performance Plants. Is the coconut cream mango, and as the name says, it is a It is has a very reminiscent, strong coconut flavor. It's a very creamy mango. My only downside to this tree is it is a big, vigorous grower, so you have to be very careful. I spend a lot of time trimming this tree. As you can see, this tree wants to be friendly with me right now. If it had its way, it would take over this yard, but if you only had one mango to choose from, the coconut cream would be a good one. All right, this is my Maha Chinnok mango, and of course there's a lot of disagreements on how the proper spelling is, so the good news is I only have to say it. This is probably top 1 or 2 in most mango experts' taste test. It is a very, very fine mango. Allegedly it's a slow-growing mango, but someone forgot to tell this one, because this is only on the ground for a few years. I think this is the 2nd or 3rd year I have it, and it's already got a nice girth on the trunk there. It is a Asian mango. It is disease resistant, and it might be a little bit of an alternate bearer because I had a very good crop last year and it seems to have a very light crop on it this year. That also could be because I'm crowded over here with my macadamia nut, but it is not as vigorous as a crop as it was last year. But it's a great mango. This is another new mango, again from the lovely people at Zill. This is an Ugly Betty mango, and the reason it's called an Ugly Betty mango is because it is the mango itself is not a pretty mango to look at. I don't have any examples to show you. It's too early in the season. It's only April here, but it is beautiful on the inside. In my informal taste tests at work, this was voted the #1 sought-after mango. This Ugly Betty, people really do prefer this. It's a big columnar tree. It's got good disease resistance, and it's just a wonderful mango recommended for your yard. This is a Harvest Moon mango. It is a great mango. I was a little bit disappointed. As you can see, it is a very big tree, which is part of my problem. And when you have so many trees, you want to keep the tree small. And it only produced one mango for me last year, but it was a great big mango. It was a beautiful color, and it has a very strong citrus overtone, which is what I like in a mango. Nice, bright yellow, disease resistant, tolerant. But I have a better crop on him this year, so I'm hoping he snaps back. Recommended tree for your yard if you have the space. It wants to be a big tree, and I'm constantly fighting it back. This is a fruit punch mango, which is another fine product from our friends at Zilv High Performance Plants. It is a great mango. This is the first year it's producing fruits for me, so I really can't speak too much to its disease and tolerance, and if it's drought resistant or whatever. I have had the fruit before, and it is a mango with reminiscence of red Hawaiian fruit punch, and if you were to mix those two things together, that's what this mango tastes like. It looks like it's a little bit of a vigorous tree. So that I'm going to have to constantly fight with that. On the other mango which you can't see right now because I have a jungle here, is a Dyke Mango, and that was not from our friends at Zill. That was from someone who was last name Van Dyke, that had a seedling growing in their yard, and that mango was named after them because that seedling was not like anything of the parent because it was monoembryotic. So it was a brand new mango, and it's a great tasting mango. One I would recommend for your yard. It's a tree that is semi-dwarf and is manageable. This mango is from our friends at Zill. As a matter of fact, it's after a family namesake, which is the Zill Mango, which is a very good mango, a very good producer. I don't have him in a great spot, so he had to grow a little bit taller before he started really producing mangoes, because I have him near my banana patch here, but and my beehive. So, but it's really it's a good all-around disease-resistant, good Florida-tasting mango. Produces nice, small, like 14-ounce fruits that do turn yellow when ripe and have a really good Florida mango flavor. I would recommend this tree for your backyard. This is a Tebow Mango, which was used to be called a young mango. I think Pine Island Nursery renamed it Tebow because of its great taste and its great production. I had a really good year with this tree last year. I don't seem to be doing so well this year. I do have a few mangoes on it. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more Bloom Special to see if I can't make something happen for this season. So I think he's a great mango. I'm able to keep him at a decent size, but I think it might be an alternate bearer. It's only the second year that I've had it fruiting, so I'm not sure, but I suspect that's the case with this mango. But it is a great mango. This is St. Maui Mango. This is a great mango. It was produced a great crop for me last year. It looks like it's going to produce another good crop for me this year as well. It does have a reminiscence of a mango with passion fruit. So if you have a good active imagination when you eat some of these things and you meet and eat some of these mangoes, you'll see that you can see where these people are coming from. It does have a nice reminiscence of a passion fruit type of taste. It is moderately disease resistant. I don't have any problems with it other than it wants to be bigger than I want it to be. This is 4 mangoes that I have here growing up in a little bit of a quad. I raised them up because this was a little bit of a low area, and I didn't want them to suffer from getting too much water. So they're together in a little bit of a berm I built. This is a Sunrise Mango, which is an old Florida kind of mango. I really got it, not for so much for the taste, but just to kind of protect the cultivar because it was kind of fading out, and I wanted to keep it just to kind of keep the brand, if you will. The reason it got its name Sunrise is because the fruit are beautiful. The fruit are red with a little bit of orange, overtones of yellow, just like a beautiful sunrise would be. The fruit quality is okay. I do struggle a little bit with some anthracnose problems with it, but again, I got it just because I wanted to keep that brand going. Over here in back of it is one of the new creations from Zill, which is Sweet Tart. It does have a very beautiful mango taste, and it does have a little bit of tartness to it, like a lemony tart type of taste to it. This is supposed to be disease resistant, but I had problems last year with anthracnose on it pretty badly. I think it's because the tree is a little too dense, and it's a little too dense with its 3 systems proximity. So I'm going to try to thin it out a little bit this year and see if I can't get a better crop of mangoes. But it's a great tasting mango, sweet tart. Again, one of the many Zill creations. In back of that is Florgong. Florgong is a very old mango. It's one of the early mangoes. I try to have mangoes fall into early, mid, and late season. So I try to have some early, some mid, and some late. So this way my mango season is 6 months. The Florgong in the back is producing. It had an early crop on it. Then we had a cold wave, which it lost all the mangoes, and then it put a secondary crop on it. So I'm happy to have some mangoes on it. It is a very strong, almost reminiscent turpentine type of flavor on it, and it's very pale yellow inside. But it's a good tasting mango, and again, when it's an early mango, I like to have those. And then to complete the quad, I have a Beverly, which is probably one of the best in the corner here by the fence. Notice the white fence here. If you have 107 fruit trees and you want to get that fruit, you better have a fence, a dog, or gun, or something, because people will raid you. So I have a fence. It's the least offensive thing to do. And that's a Beverly Mango in the back there, and that is a late blooming, so late fruiting mango, and it produces a wonderful tasting mango. It's really good, worth having in your yard, especially for a late mango. Okay, I'll talk about the next 4 mangoes here in the yard. The first one here is Bailey's Marvel. This is a marvelous mango, produces a large mango. It's over a pound. It turns yellow when it's ripe, and it's just a wonderful flavor. I believe it was a descendant of a Hayden. I can't help myself. And you're just going to be very happy with this mango. The only problem is it wants to be a little bit of a bigger tree, and when you have a bigger mango and a bigger tree, when those suckers fall, they mango bombs. So just try to keep this tree small, and you will not be disappointed with the fruit. I do recommend this for your backyard. This mango, I honestly do not know what it is. So it's the only one in my yard that I do not know the cultivar of. I keep it in the yard because my nursery mentor, David McLean, who has unfortunately since passed away, gave this mango to me, so it has sentimental value. I'm going to call it the David M. Mango. I will never get rid of it. It wants to be a big tree. I'm not sure really what it is. I suspect it might be a Fairchild Mango, but in my heart it will always be the David M. Mango, and it'll never leave this yard. All right, the next one I have in here is the Keitt Mango. This is definitely one of my 1 or 2 favorites mango in the yard. It's from Vietnam. It is a very sweet taste. It is good with disease resistance. It doesn't have merely any problems other than it wants to be very thick on the canopy, and I have to go in and thin it out. But it's good because it doesn't cause any anthracnose or anything like that due to its disease resistance. It turns a beautiful yellow flavor and is a very picturesque fruit that has an incredible Indo-Chinese flavor taste. And the last one I'll talk about is in the foreground here is my Philippine mango. My Philippine mango's been a bit of a disappointment. It is a great tasting mango. It is a small mango and produces clusters of fruit, but it's been a shy bearer the past 2 years, and I'm wondering what's going on with that, so I'm going to see if I can't right the ship with a little bit of bloom fertilizer. All right, this is a Dyke Mango, which is a decent tasting mango. It is, I think now that I reminisce, it is a Indian mango. It is a nice tasting mango. It probably produced over 100 mangoes last year, and I do not see any on it this year, so I'm not sure if it is an alternate bearer mango or something got shaded out or something, so I'm going to try Better Living Through Chemistry and see if I can't bloom special it into life again. But it's a decent tasting mango. It's not the best. This is the mango I give to people and they say, how come you have so many mangoes and you never give me any? I give them a Dunkin'. So this mango, next to it is a Rasposa. It is a dwarf Hawaiian mango. It produces a nice small little fruit. It's again, it's not the best tasting mango. A lot of these cultivars I just got for diversity. So I have different mangoes for different places that taste differently because, you know, you don't want 500 of the same tasting mango. It's got a little little bit reminiscent of a turpentine taste to it. It produces a nice smaller fruit that does turn red when it's ripe, and it's a good mango. But if you limit it on yard space, I would put this down toward the end of your list. Is my first tree that I put in my fruit yard, or I should say, what started my addiction, which is a Coggeshall mango. I did buy this from my dear friend David McLean, and I said bought, so that's before I worked for him. So that's how long I've known David. I was buying from him before I worked for him, volunteered for him rather. So he is a semi-dwarf mango, but he is probably at the peak of his height. It's about 18 or 20 feet. It produces probably 125 to 150 mangoes. It's got a nice citrusy overtone. I did have problems with the mangoes last year that if I didn't pick them early that they would soften up and get that jelly seed. I'm not sure what happened there, and I'm hoping it corrected itself and it was just a one season type of thing. But it is a great taste of mango. It's definitely top 5 in my book. A, because it was my first, and B, because I bought it from David McLean. This is a Rosigold mango, and it's great mango. It is by far my favorite of the 2 early mangoes I have. You can see this is truly an early mango. I've already had one of these in March. Now, granted, it was March 30th, but I still had a mango in March, so I'm going to see. Hopefully, I can get as far as September, maybe October with my mangoes and get a 5 or 6 month mango season out of it, which would be great before I'd have to go for the frozen stuff. But it produces a nice mango. It is susceptible to cracking. Actually, that one came off, so you can see that it does crack when it gets a little bit too much water. I can control the irrigation. I cannot control the rain. So a lot of them will crack and fall, but since I kind of saved him and he was already turning color, so this turned a beautiful yellow, reddish when it's ready, and it's an Asian mango. You can tell by the shape. It's moderately disease resistant. You can see that I do have a lot of black on here, but it doesn't affect the fruit too much. It's just cosmetic, and I highly recommend this. This is one of my top 5, but I think I might have 15 in my top 5. But I highly recommend this for your yard. All right, so this is my Pickering mango, which is a fantastic tasting mango. It is relatively big. It's usually a small tree. This one's gotten relatively big. What I like about this tree and several of the mangoes I have this year is that since we had a wacky winter, we had cold, then it was warm, then it was cold, then it's warm, I have successive waves of blooming. So as you can see up there, Cindy's doing a good job of panning up in the tree. I have some very big mangoes that are almost ready to be harvested in probably in a couple of weeks, and then I have some very small mangoes, and I even have some mango blooms on the tree. So that's nice that when you have these mangoes that you have them in waves like that, so you don't have 50 mangoes in one day. You know, have five mangoes, you know, for 10 weeks. Right, so it's over an extended season. It's a great little tree. I haven't had any problems with it, other than its neighbor, the Dyke Mango, has grown into it, and one of the branches didn't get any sun, so it died. But other than that, it's a great little tree and an excellent tasting mango. Again, one of my 15 top 5 mangoes. I would recommend this one for your yard as well. And it's in the dwarf mango family. It's not going to be a 50-foot tree. Okay, this is a Dyke Mango. It is an Asian mango. Actually, some say it is the premier Asian mango. It is listed as the best tasting Asian mango. I'm not sure I agree, but it is a great mango. I do agree with that. It also is a semi-dwarf tree, so you can keep it small. I love this tree because it does produce very productive. It does produce nice clusters of mangoes, and also due to the wacky weather, as I just talked about, you can see that I have some mangoes that are almost ready to harvest. I don't know if you can get that one, Cindy, right here. So you can see the size of that mango. He's going to be harvestable in a couple of weeks. But right next to him are little baby mangoes that'll be harvested probably in 2 months. So again, and then you have some adolescent mangoes over here, which are probably going to be about 6 weeks or so that'll be harvested. So due to the cold, the tree responded well. Mangoes flower by stress, right? Whether it be cold or lack of water, and that's what causes them to flower. They're like, I'm going to die. I need to make babies, and therefore they're babies we eat, and they're called mangoes. So those are the mangoes of this tree, Dyke Mango. Good disease resistance, pretty tree. You won't be disappointed. Nice semi-dwarf. Definitely recommended if you're an Asian mango fan like I am. This is a Keitt Mango, and this at one point in time was the Cadillac of the commercial mangoes that were produced. It's a nice big mango. It has a wonderful flavor, and it has a late season. The problem with this is this, like the Keitt Mango, I had a lot of problems with anthracnose last year, that if I saw a black spot on those mangoes and I didn't pick that within days, the whole mango would be encompassed with anthracnose, and it would not be edible, and it would be compostable. But you know, I hate to lose those mangoes. It's great tasting. Unfortunately, the mango next to it is a gram, and it's supposed to be semi-dwarf, which is a small tree, but as I'll show you next, it wound up being a bigger tree and kind of choking out my little Keitt here, and also exacerbating my anthracnose problems because I wasn't getting enough sun and enough air. This is a gram mango, which is a descendant of Julie, which is why this mango is very popular with my Jamaican friends. This is a great mango. The problem I have with this mango is I bought it and it's supposed to be a semi-dwarf, but if you look at the girth of the trunk of this tree, this almost looks like a Valencia Pride would look. I mean, this is a very vigorous tree. It has a fatter girth than my cogshaw, which is probably 8 years older than this tree. So I would not have planted this so close to the house, having known how much it was going to grow. It always grows over the fence and into the sidewalk. But this mango produces hundreds of mangoes. It's not even a top 10 for me taste-wise. It is a good mango. This is another one of the mangoes that when people say to me, how come you never give me any mangoes? I'm going to give them a Dunkin', I'm going to give them a gram. This is the last mango we'll have on the mango tour, lucky number 30. Oh, I lied. This is number 37. There's one more small one I just planted. We'll go to that one next. This is a Hatcher mango, which is a wonderful mango. This one also is supposed to have problems with anthracnose because I think it's descendant of Keitt, but I have not had that problem. I think I have not had that problem because if you look, this mango is one of the few mangoes that I have that is not overshadowed by anything. He is in complete open air. He is in complete open sunlight, which keeps those diseases to a minimum. So even if you have a mango that's susceptible to it, if you can air it out and keep it nice, light, and airy, you're not going to have an issue. If you have the issue I have, where that big gram grew into the Keitt that's already susceptible to anthracnose, you're going to have an issue. But again, Hatcher, nice, big, beautiful mango, turns yellow and red when it's ready, and it was named after the folks who discovered it, which was a nursery up in, I think is a little bit north of here, as Hatcher, and it took their family name of the nursery, and it's a really great tasting mango. You won't be disappointed. Okay? All right, this is the last mango. This time I promise. This is lucky number 38. This is an M4 mango, and what I did is I put him toward the back of my yard where I don't have any irrigation. Due to my current employment status, I have the time to water him by hand, and I'm going to go ahead and do that and going to try to extend my my irrigation out here eventually. But I put him back here next to the avocado tree because he is like the coconut cream. He is supposed to be an approved coconut cream. It has a coconut flavor. It also is disease resistant, but it is a big vigorous tree just like in coconut cream. So I learned my lesson. So I put him in an area where he can sprawl and just fight with this big avocado for airspace. And you know, I think it's going to be a great mango. I anticipate within the next 2 or 3 years I'll have fruit off of him, but he's the only guy in my yard that's small and not fruiting at this time. That concludes the mango tour. Thank you.